before his footsteps actually left mainland Europe. A small moment actually stole the attention of many people. A moment that was simple, calm, yet felt so deep. Kim Taehyung, who for the past few days has been in Switzerland, was seen spending a moment in an airport cafe, away from the hustle and bustle of the big cameras, but still did not escape the prying eyes of fans who happened to be there. That morning at one of the airports in Switzerland felt warmer than usual, not because of the weather, but because of the presence of a figure known for his calm aura. Taehyung arrived without much of a flashy escort, wearing his signature casual outfit, a long coat in a neutral color, paired with sunglasses that made him even more eye-catching. No rush, no nervous look, as if he really wanted to enjoy the last seconds before the long flight back to Korea. Sources at the location said that Taehyung went straight to a coffee shop inside the airport. Without saying much, he orders a cup of coffee, a simple drink that may seem routine to others, but to Taehyung seems like a small ritual before leaving a place full of memories. He chose to sit in a corner that is not too crowded, facing a large window that shows the runway with planes that alternately come and go. There was something different about the way he sat that morning. Unlike his usual cheerful appearance in public, this time, Taehyung seemed more silent, more reflective. Every now and then he looked at his coffee, then looked out the window, as if his mind was running far away, perhaps repeating every moment he had passed while in Switzerland. From the snowy streets to the quiet nights he spends with those closest to him, everything seems to be replaying in his mind. Some fans who were aware of his presence chose not to get too close. They only watched from a distance, appreciating the idol's personal space. But the moment still felt so special. Imagine a global superstar sitting alone with a cup of coffee. No stage, no spotlight, just being himself, a simple Kim Taehyung. Interestingly, an eyewitness revealed that Taehyung had a small smile when he saw a small child running around near the area. The smile was brief, but enough to make the surrounding atmosphere feel warmer. Even in silence, Taehyung still shows the soft side that has made many people fall in love. Time goes slowly, but surely. The coffee in his hand slowly reduced, leaving a thin trail at the bottom of the cup. He was in no hurry to spend it, as if he wanted to prolong the moment. In a world that always demanded him to move fast, perhaps this was one of the few occasions where he could pause for a moment that a few minutes later, he was seen taking his cell phone. It wasn't clear what he was looking at, but his expression turned a little more serious. Maybe a message, maybe a flight schedule, or maybe just a regular notification. But after that, he put his phone down again and took a deep breath, as if he was preparing to return to a busier reality. That moment of coffee, as simple as it may seem, actually holds a deeper meaning. It wasn't just a cup of coffee at the airport. It was a small farewell to a phase of travel. Switzerland is not just a place to stop, but a place where he gets to enjoy the tranquility that he rarely gets in the middle of his busy schedule. Some airport staff also began to notice his presence, but still maintained professionalism. There was no fuss, no chaos. Everything went on quietly, as if everyone had agreed to let Taehyung enjoy the moment. When he finally stood up from his chair, there was a short pause before he stepped away. He had a chance to look once again at the window, to the runway, to the Swiss sky. That morning looked bright. The look was hard to explain, neither sad nor completely happy. Maybe it's a mixture of both, as he then smoothed his coat, picked up his things, and walked out of the cafe with a calm but sure step. Without much drama, without excessive gestures, just a simple departure, yet it felt so meaningful to those who watched it. For fans, this moment is another proof that behind the glitter of the entertainment world, Taehyung is still someone who appreciates the little things. A cup of coffee, alone time, and the opportunity to just be quiet. Things that are often taken for granted, but on the contrary become very valuable in his life. And perhaps among the coffee aromas that slowly disappeared in the airport air that morning, there was a story that would never really be told. A story about separation, about travel, and about a man who, despite being known to the world, still seeks tranquility in simple things. That moment has passed, but the impression remains, like the taste of coffee that still sticks, even after the cup is empty. Kim Taehyung's move then merges with the flow of other passengers at the Switzerland airport. But there is something that keeps him different. Not because of his appearance alone, but a calm aura that seemed difficult to explain. Even after leaving the cafe, some people still watch from a distance, as if the simple moment that had just happened had not really ended. Along the corridors of the airport, Taehyung walks in a leisurely rhythm. No rush, no stopping for too long. Every now and then he adjusted his pace, giving way to another passenger, a small gesture that showed his humble side. The sunglasses he was wearing partially obscured his expression, but his body language still spoke. He was enjoying every second that remained before departure. Interestingly, the atmosphere around him seemed to slow down. Amid the sound of flight announcements and rolling suitcases, Taehyung's presence creates a kind of quiet space of its own. He didn't do anything flashy, but it was precisely his simplicity that made many people unable to take their eyes off point. One of the moments that was caught by the observer was when he stopped for a moment near another large window. Not for long, just a few seconds, but enough to show that he still wants to soak up the atmosphere around. Perhaps it was his way of saying goodbye, not with words, but with a fully conscious presence that, in his hand, the boarding pass looked ready. But he didn't go straight to the gate. There was a small pause, as if he was giving himself one last time to really be present in that place. For some people, the airport is just a transit point. But for Taehyung, that morning felt like the end point of a bigger story. The few staff who were aware of his identity simply exchanged glances without coming any closer. Professionalism is maintained, but admiration cannot be completely hidden. Even without direct interaction, Taehyung's presence was enough to give the morning its own color. The most impression is precisely the consistency of his attitude from the cafe to walk to the departure area. No drastic changes, no attempts to attract attention. He remains the same figure, calm, simple, and full of consciousness. It's as if he knows that these little moments are the most meaningful. And among those steps, one thing feels clear. Taehyung isn't just preparing to fly back to Korea. He is also leaving behind a chunk of time that, although short, has given him room to breathe. That morning at the Swiss airport may soon be forgotten by many. But for those who watched in person, or even just heard the story, that simple moment of coffee has turned into something more, a vivid picture of how a world star nevertheless finds calm in the simplest things.